While delivering food on his bike, Wang Han gets a call claiming a girl is pregnant, but hangs up thinking it is a scam. Speeding through heavy traffic, he quickly arrives back at the main delivery hub. His coworker mentions that the famous Su family daughter is marrying a wealthy guy. Showing a picture of the girl on a phone screen, the friend complains about her terrible groom. Staring at the screen, the deliverer suddenly recognizes her as a drunk woman from his past. Shock hits him when he realizes that the strange phone call from earlier might actually be real. 1 month ago, the wealthy woman was feeling very dizzy after drinking something suspicious. Barely able to stand, she stumbles toward room 809 in the hallway. Entering the open hotel room, the woman finds the stressed deliverer drinking alone on the floor. Dizzy from the strange drink, she collapses right beside him and begs for help. Stunned by her beauty, the boy freezes as she pulls him close while the spilled bottle leaks. Snapping back to reality, his coworker notices him staring at the phone and begins to laugh. The group teases him about his wild stories, but he calmly lights a cigarette while ignoring them. Laughing off his silly response, the other workers jump on their bikes to start taking orders. Suddenly, a bright red luxury sports car pulls up to the building, shocking everyone nearby. Stepping out of the luxury vehicle, a gorgeous woman leaves all the delivery drivers completely stunned. Looking closely at her face, the coworker suddenly realizes she is Su Chi, the famous wealthy heiress. Approaching Wang Han directly, she asks why he ignored her phone calls, blowing everyone away. While he acts confused about the missed calls, the girl bluntly drops the news that she is pregnant with his child. Her massive reveal leaves the group screaming in shock as the deliverer wonders if she made a mistake. Demanding a hospital visit, she tells him to get in the car while his friends push him to move. After asking his friends to cover his shift, he gets inside the vehicle and they speed away together. Inside the fast car, the protagonist asks if the baby is really his and promises to take full responsibility. The rich girl mocks his job, but the deliverer calmly replies that making an honest living is plenty to support them. When she mentions her high-status family in Jiangning, he simply dismisses wealthy prestige as completely useless. Annoyed by his relaxed attitude, the heiress slams the brakes and sends him flying forward against his seatbelt. Arriving at the local hospital, she steps outside while warning that her powerful parents would ruin his life. Unfazed by her threat, the persistent young man insists on stepping up before following her inside the lobby. Walking down the quiet hallway, the driver gets confused when he notices they are stopping right outside an operating room. As she calmly announces that she is going inside, the shocked boy grabs her shoulder to stop her. She claims he cannot afford to raise a child, but the stubborn young man insists that money will not be an issue. Interrupting their fight, a nurse calls her name for the appointment, and the girl walks off without hesitating. Disappearing into the room, she ignores his calls while he stands outside, realizing he cannot change her mind. Lying on the cold hospital bed, the young heiress suddenly starts having second thoughts about what she is doing. Right as the doctor prepares the medicine, the nervous girl raises her hand and demands everyone to stop. Waiting quietly on a bench outside, the surprised protagonist sees her walk back into the hallway. Surprised by her quick return, the deliverer wonders if surgeries can really happen that fast. Feeling exhausted, she asks him to drive her home, so he jokes about being able to fly a fighter jet. Driving her sports car toward her neighborhood, the protagonist receives an unexpected phone call. His contact mentions an upcoming bidding event where a top business leader will follow his orders. Arriving at her massive villa, he tells her to wake up while noticing how silent she stays. The girl tells him to leave before her family sees them and refuses his offer to walk her to the door. Tripping on the uneven pavement, she loses her balance, but he rushes in and catches her just in time. When he calls her clumsy, she angrily pinches his side, causing him to yell out in pain. Ignoring her harsh reaction, the boy scoops her up into his arms to carry her inside the villa. Placing her on the living room couch, he kneels down to take a close look at her injured ankle. Although she tells him to leave, he orders her to stay still while preparing to apply the medicine. Suddenly, footsteps approach as her mother and best friend walk in, shocked by the awkward scene. The deliverer quickly explains that the heiress hurt her leg after losing her balance outside. To his total disbelief, she suddenly introduces him to her mother as her official boyfriend. The shocked mother freaks out and asks why her daughter is hanging out with a poor delivery worker. Panicking from the pressure, the heiress lies that it was a joke while her mom sighs in relief about her upcoming marriage. When the young man defends his job, the snobbish parent insults him for trying to date above his status. Angered by her rude words, he prepares to argue back until the rich girl quickly interrupts and tells him to leave. Before walking away, the arrogant mother orders her helper to scrub the floor where the driver was standing. After taking the girl to her bedroom, her close friend notices her strange expression and calls out her lie. With no other choice left, the young heiress quietly reveals that she is actually pregnant with the boy's baby. Hearing the news, her friend freaks out that the baby belongs to a simple deliverer. When the heiress reveals she will keep the child because he promised to step up, her friend loses her mind. Warning her about family status, the friend gets cut off as the rich girl changes the topic to why she returned. She explains that her grandfather came to town for a big business bidding event, but the girl barely cares. Getting a sudden idea, the friend suggests blaming the deliverer, but the young heiress calls her out for it. Meanwhile, outside, the protagonist walks down the quiet street complaining that no taxis are available. Suddenly, a luxury black vehicle stops right beside him as someone begins to step out. Stepping out of the luxury car, an elder introduces himself as the business leader sent to pick up the protagonist. Remembering his grandfather's instructions, the deliverer asks for a fresh suit before attending the bidding event. Rushing through the city inside a sleek limousine, they quickly reach the crowded hall filled with rich guests. Dressed in a stylish new outfit, the young man steps into the venue and marvels at the massive turnout. Suddenly, the heiress's best friend spots him in the crowd and assumes he works another part-time job there. Grabbing his arm without hesitation, the angry girl drags him away to confront him in private. She threatens to make his life miserable if he fails to take responsibility for her pregnant friend. Hearing her warning, the protagonist gets completely stunned after realizing the heiress kept the baby. The angry girl grabs his collar and reveals that the heiress decided to keep the child after all. Threatening to make him suffer if he abandons her friend, she stomps hard on his shoe, leaving him screaming in pain. As the host announces the start of the bidding event, the young man resolves to hurry so he can find the mother. Suddenly, a woman named Lu Yue greets him respectfully and introduces herself as his assigned assistant. Ready to focus on business, the protagonist leads his new helper straight into the main hall. An arrogant, wealthy guy named Qin Lei enters the room and threatens everyone to back out of the bidding. His assistant explains that the bully belongs to a powerful family and stands as their main rival tonight. The protagonist quickly realizes that the arrogant bully is actually the same rich guy engaged to the heiress. As the host opens the bid for the main project, the wealthy rival immediately starts with 5 billion. Hearing the huge offer, the surrounding guests assume nobody will dare to challenge such a powerful family. Without hesitation, the protagonist raises his paddle and calmly bids 6 billion. His massive counteroffer leaves the entire audience gasping in shock, thinking he has a death wish. Furious at the sudden challenge, the angry rival slams his fist and yells at the young man for looking for trouble. The deliverer calmly reminds him that the highest bidder wins, but the angry bully insists his family claims the land. Unbothered by his name, the brave protagonist asks what that has to do with him as everyone stares in disbelief. When a wealthy man raises his paddle to offer 700 million, the boy instantly bids 800 million. Enraged by the defiance, the arrogant man shouts that his family controls the city before bidding 900 million. With a confident smile, the brave protagonist calmly raises the price even further to 1 billion. Furious at being outbid, the loud bully rushes forward to attack, but the young man punches him right in the face. As the attacker crashes onto the floor, his angry bodyguards quickly charge in to attack the deliverer together. Moving with unbelievable speed, the skilled fighter easily knocks out every guard with powerful kicks. Holding his swollen cheek on the ground, the defeated bully screams in disbelief that the boy dared to strike him. With one powerful strike, the protagonist sends a guard flying directly onto another man on the floor. Standing tall, the young man asks if anyone else wants to bid while the nervous host stammers in shock. Leaving his assistant behind to handle the funds, the busy deliverer quickly heads out to find the mother. Meanwhile, inside a quiet room, a young woman asks her grandfather why he called her over so urgently. The elder warns her to speak carefully while she wonders what kind of big shot requires such caution. An assistant suddenly walks in to report that the Qin family surprisingly lost the bidding event. Shocked by the news, the young woman wonders who could possibly be bold enough to take the win. Realizing the winner is their expected guest, she calls him arrogant before stepping outside to make a call. While walking down the hallway, the wealthy girl accidentally bumps right into the deliverer and gets furious. Ignoring her angry complaints, he enters a private room where the elder respectfully greets him. The protagonist asks about the woman and learns she is the old man's granddaughter who wants to meet him. Switching topics, he asks about Su Qi and learns her planned marriage with the rival family got delayed by his bid. Curious about her past, he asks about her relationships and hears that she never had a boyfriend before. Smiling at the good news, his phone rings and he immediately agrees to meet Su Qi after she calls him. Bidding farewell to the elder, the young man hurries out to find the heiress waiting alone in a peaceful park. Arriving on his motorcycle, the young man finds the heiress sitting quietly on a park bench. Sitting beside her, he promises to support her and even marry whenever she is ready. Doubtful of his words, the rich girl wonders if a simple driver can truly afford her lifestyle. Pointing to her luxury watch, she gets stunned when he immediately names the exact model and high price. Even though she tells him to stop flexing, the confident protagonist promises their child will never lack anything. Interrupting their talk, her mom calls to report that her fiancé arrived home to discuss their upcoming wedding. Asking for a ride back, the girl walks over while the deliverer happily offers her a seat on his motorcycle. While riding together on the motorcycle, the young heiress rests comfortably against his back. Arriving at her massive house, the two walk inside together to face her family. Her angry mother immediately scolds her for staying out while her wealthy fiancé waited inside. Seeing Wang Han enter, the mother asks why she brought a stranger right before her planned wedding. The heiress tries to cancel the deal since his family lost the bid, but the arrogant guy refuses. Even though her mom argues about the family money, the stubborn girl firmly refuses to marry him. Shocking everyone in the room, she grabs the protagonist and reveals that she is pregnant with his child. Hearing the sudden pregnancy news, the angry mother screams in complete shock while her daughter refuses the wedding. Right as the mother tries to slap her own child, the protagonist grabs her wrist and defends his work. He calls out the mother for selling her daughter for cash, while the angry woman tells him to back off. Furious about the sudden betrayal, the ugly fiancé shouts wild threats at the young heiress. Before the loud guy can finish speaking, the brave deliverer slaps him straight to the floor. Pulling the girl close to his side, the protagonist warns the room that nobody touches the mother of his child. Offended by the sudden hit, the angry fiancé gets back up and picks up a heavy ashtray. Screaming out in rage, the furious man charges forward, trying to strike the young hero with the heavy object. Telling her to stay behind him, the brave boy easily dodges the wild swing. Slamming the attacker to the floor, he grabs his collar to teach him a quick lesson. Punching his face repeatedly, the skilled deliverer leaves the bully screaming for mercy. Right as he stops, her wealthy grandfather suddenly enters the living room with the entire family. Revealing that he heard everything, the old man angrily asks if the child belongs to a driver. Feeling nervous under his glare, the quiet girl softly confirms the truth. Panicking over their status, the angry family demands that she immediately gets rid of the baby. Furious relatives scream that the family is ruined while rejecting her over the scandal. Feeling overwhelmed by all the non-stop shouting, the dizzy girl begs everyone to stop before collapsing. Catching her in his arms, the young hero promises to protect her, while her angry parents threaten him. Calling out their awful behavior, the brave deliverer carries her and smashes a heavy table with one kick. Glaring at the terrified family, he asks if anyone dares to stop him from taking her. Since nobody dares to speak up, the cool protagonist calmly walks away with the heiress in his arms. Reaching his home apartment building later that night, he gently places the exhausted girl on his sofa. Picking up her card from the floor, the young hero realizes today is actually her birthday. Feeling bad that nobody remembered her special day, he resolves to treat her right. 20 minutes later, the sleepy heiress wakes up on the sofa wondering where she is. Wearing a fresh apron, the boy greets her with a huge table filled with homemade food. Smelling the delicious feast, the girl smiles while he proudly brags about his cooking skills. He tells her to stay positive today before surprising her with another sweet gesture. Bringing out a fresh pink cake, he leaves the young woman completely speechless with surprise. Sitting across from her, the confident protagonist proudly asks if he impressed her enough. Seeing tears in her eyes, the boy teasingly offers his broad shoulder for her to cry on. Laughing at his joke, the girl begins eating the delicious meal and compliments his cooking. Closing her eyes, the young heiress quietly makes a birthday wish over the burning candle. When he asks about her future plans, she worries if he will break his promise about the baby. He promises to step up and asks if she dares to marry him, so she agrees without hesitation. With a confident smirk, the protagonist agrees to register their marriage the very next day. Before they can finish talking, his phone starts ringing, so he gets up to take the call. Stepping onto the quiet balcony, the deliverer answers his contact to check what happened. On the balcony, his contact warns that a dangerous enemy is heading to the city to eliminate him. Inside the apartment, the heiress takes a birthday call from her best friend and reveals the protagonist greeted her first. Dropping another massive bombshell, she admits that they plan to register their marriage the very next day. Panicking over the news, her desperate friend promises to beg the secret auction winner for help to save her. Back outside, his contact reveals that a dangerous princess was also searching for his current location. Learning that his contact exposed his hiding spot, the shocked hero drops his lighter in total disbelief. As his friend suddenly hangs up on him, the stressed protagonist crouches down, knowing big trouble is near. Receiving a random text message, the hero reads a request from a wealthy girl offering full cooperation. The elder immediately calls to apologize for his granddaughter, leaking his private contact information. Taking charge, the young master orders weapons and demands complete control of the project for Su Chi. Inside the bedroom, the rich girl celebrates getting news that the mysterious big shot accepted the deal. Entering the room, the hero asks why she looks thrilled, but she assumes he would never understand business. Leaning down close to her, he teases her, until the flustered heiress worries about his intentions. Grabbing a pillow, the considerate young man simply offers to sleep on the sofa so she can rest safely. After warning her to rest properly, the protagonist walks away while the flustered heiress blushes alone in bed. Early the next morning, the brave hero does intense handstand push-ups on the balcony while she watches in confusion. Showing off his secret martial arts technique, the young man explains how his father taught him to protect his family. Touched by the delicious breakfast he made, the rich girl asks him to take her back to her home. Needing her official family registration for their marriage certificate, the stubborn heiress demands they move fast. Heading outside together, she insists on waiting until after the baby arrives before meeting his parents. Approaching his motorcycle, the heiress teasingly compliments his handsome looks as they prepare to head out. Joking about his background, the protagonist tells the heiress that he is more than worthy of her. Holding onto his waist tightly, the rich girl sits back as they speed off down the highway. Meanwhile, the furious rival orders his thugs to eliminate the hero and capture the girl immediately. While riding down the road, the driver notices a suspicious van following them in broad daylight. Telling her to grab her documents inside, he quickly drops the heiress off at her family villa. He promises to return for her shortly before driving off to handle the dangerous stalkers alone. Smirking at his rearview mirror, the brave boy intentionally lures the enemy vehicle away into the open road. Arriving at the Lin family villa, the young man steps off his motorcycle and looks up at the building. Spotting enemies lurking nearby, he quickly realizes an ambush is waiting for him. Heading inside, the protagonist picks up a powerful sniper rifle left behind by his contact. Suddenly, a rich girl wearing a towel enters the bedroom and screams at him in total shock. Seeing a laser target appear right on her head, the sharp hero instantly shouts for her to get down. As a bullet smashes through the glass window, he tackles her out of harm's way. Landing on the bed together, the brave deliverer shields her while holding onto his weapon. Covering her mouth, the young hero warns the terrified girl to stay quiet so they do not give away their position. Spotting the assassin named Hydra outside, the courageous boy aims his sniper rifle directly through the glass. Without hesitating, he fires a powerful shot directly toward the enemy shooter across the building. An incoming bullet smashes into the wall right as the alert protagonist tackles the rich girl back down. Realizing a second attacker is watching, he grabs a towel and throws it into the air to create a decoy. While the shooter targets the flying decoy, the skilled young master takes careful aim and pulls his trigger again. Smashed by his precise shot, the enemy sniper falls dead behind the shattered window. After taking down the assassin, the young heiress angrily asks why he brought a rifle into her house. Suddenly, a barrage of bullets smashes into the room, so the young hero quickly shields her on the floor. Examining a bullet stuck in the wall, the sharp protagonist recognizes the mark of an elite assassin group. Asking if she angered European enemies, the hero gets worried when he notices his weapon is completely empty. The rich girl remembers rejecting a shady business deal involving her family company Tech recently. Right as another shot breaks through the glass, the alert boy tackles her back down to safety. Picking up a sharp glass shard from the floor, the creative protagonist prepares to throw it with deadly force. Throwing the sharp glass piece with insane force, he takes down both snipers hiding outside. After telling the girl that the area is safe, she demands to know his secret background. Hearing new movement from downstairs, he tells the panicked woman to stay put while he checks. Meanwhile, armed thugs enter the villa, assuming the delivery driver came to steal valuable items. Walking down the stairs with full confidence, the fearless young hero politely greets the intruders. The leader reveals they work for a big boss before ordering his goons to break his legs. Completely unbothered by their threats, the protagonist casually scratches his head and smiles. When the armed goons charge forward together, the skilled young hero instantly kicks the first attacker in the face. Seeing his allies fall in seconds, the last thug stands shocked that a simple driver possesses elite martial arts skills. Refusing to back down, the thug swings his blade only for the young hero to jump into the air and crush him with a kick. As the defeated attacker hits the floor, the rich girl walks downstairs and screams after seeing all the knocked out goons. Hearing her loud scream, the villain quickly gets back up and grabs the panicked girl to use her as a human shield. Holding a sharp blade against her neck, the desperate criminal threatens to end her life if the boy takes another step. Completely unfazed by the threat, the cool young man puts his hands in his pockets and tells him to go right ahead. As the brave hero slowly walks forward, the terrified thug panics while begging him to stop moving. The nervous criminal yells at him to stay back while holding the helpless girl hostage. Closing the distance in a flash, the hero effortlessly catches the sharp blade between two fingers. Stunned by his insane strength, the attacker trembles in fear while failing to move his weapon. With a single flick of his hand, the brave boy instantly shatters the metal blade into pieces. Lifting the enemy by his throat, the hero ignores his claims of belonging to a powerful gang. Unbothered by his status, the skilled fighter slams the terrified criminal straight into the floor. As the desperate bully tries to talk his way out, the protagonist stomps him down to end the fight. Begging for mercy, the defeated thug reveals that Chin-hao went straight to attack Su-chi. Shocked by the news, the angry deliverer kicks the thug hard for keeping quiet so long. Hearing police arrive outside, the young hero tells the girl to handle them before rushing to save Su-chi. When officers enter the villa, the clever girl lies that armed intruders broke into her home. While handcuffing the goons, the police discover the dead snipers lying across the street. Meanwhile, Chin-hao corners Su-chi inside her bedroom and confesses to drugging her past drink. Tackling her onto the bed, the evil villain holds her down while boasting that nobody can save her. Before the villain can touch her, the brave hero bursts into the room and slaps him straight onto the floor. Holding his cheek on the floor, the angry bully threatens him with his rich family background. When the loud villain charges forward with threats, the cool young man instantly sends him flying with a heavy kick. Relieved to be safe, the rich girl hugs him tightly while the defeated bully runs away screaming wild threats. Checking the time, the young heiress realizes she has an urgent company meeting and asks him to accompany her. Speeding over together, they quickly arrive at the massive company building where a business partner is waiting. Walking into the room side by side, the young heiress apologizes for being late to the important discussion. When the assistant tries to bow to the young master, he quickly covers for her by pretending they are old school classmates. After sitting down at the meeting table, the assistant prepares to discuss the massive company project. Suddenly, the girl's grandfather enters the room with family members to join the business discussion. When the grandfather complains about extra people, her angry father demands that she give up her seat to her brother. Her smug brother steps forward to take over the project while her father orders her to pour water for the guest. Her arrogant uncle adds that she should leave company affairs to her brother, since she will get married soon. Furious at their unfair behavior, the hero angrily calls them out for trying to steal her hard work. The angry relatives yell at the boy to shut up while mockingly laughing at his delivery job and the pregnancy rumor. When the grandfather orders her to kick the deliverer out, the heiress bravely defends his honest work. Stepping forward, the hero insists that only the heiress can lead the project before winking at his assistant. Her jealous brother quickly interrupts, claiming the heiress lacks experience to manage such a huge deal. The assistant firmly warns that they will cancel the deal unless the young heiress stays in charge. Fearing a massive loss, the greedy family quickly agrees before getting kicked out of the room. Watching the relatives leave in shame, the hero mocks their greed while the assistant hands over the contract. Inside a private office, the furious brother complains until his father hints that he has a secret plan. Her father drops a massive secret by revealing that the heiress is actually an adopted child. He explains that her biological father passed away long ago while leaving behind only a useless pendant. Evil smiling, the greedy parent plans to let her manage the project first before stealing it back later. Meanwhile, outside the building, the protagonist casually asks two security guards for a lighter. When he reveals his delivery job, the guards laughingly call him their natural enemy for life. Standing up straight as the heiress approaches, the guards salute while the cool hero remains totally relaxed. After she walks away toward her car, the excited guard brags about receiving a compliment from her. Just as the guard tells him to dream big, the heiress pulls up in her sports car and orders him to hop inside. Leaving the guards completely speechless, the protagonist waves goodbye and speeds away inside the luxury ride. Inside the car, she plans to thank the mystery boss while setting up their marriage registration for the next morning. She promises to pay 30,000 yuan monthly after birth, but he teasingly claims that the amount is way too low. Annoyed by his confident answer, the rich girl slams on the gas pedal and speeds straight through the city traffic. Arriving at their destination, the two walk together until an urgent phone call interrupts their quiet conversation. His contact reveals that a gang leader stole valuable goods before suddenly asking about his upcoming marriage. On the phone, the protagonist gets scolded by his grandfather for picking Su-chi instead of other rich heiresses. Learning that his terrifying older sister is coming tomorrow, the young man panics before the elder hangs up. Heading back inside together, the hero takes the quiet heiress straight into his apartment. When she asks about a strange document, the caring boy distracts her by offering to cook dinner. Sitting on the sofa, the rich girl smiles at the cute thought of having him as her house husband. Cooking at the stove, the confident protagonist happily vows to take great care of his wife and child. Arriving at the registry early the next day, the happy couple officially obtains their marriage certificates. As she asks if he will deliver food today, the playful hero jokes about hanging out with other girls. After his companion walks away annoyed, the mysterious man resolves to complete the mission assigned by his superior. Arriving at the Black Dragon Group building, he remembers how a simple local gang transformed into a massive company. Knowing they deal in illegal loans and car reselling, the bold fighter decides to test their true strength. Stepping straight into the lobby, he calmly tells the reception workers that he came for debt collection. When the worker tries to offer him services, he clarifies that he came to take money directly from their boss. Outraged by his extreme disrespect, the angry thugs scream threats and charge forward to attack him together. Easily dodging the first strike, the cool martial artist counterattacks and crushes the long-haired thug with a kick. Before the bald attacker can even react, the skilled hero sends him flying with a vicious strike to the head. Standing over the defeated thug, the young hero demands to be taken straight to the gang leader named Bald Lu. Meanwhile, inside a luxurious office, the arrogant boss enjoys wine with a companion without a care in the world. Suddenly, a panicked thug rushes inside to report an intruder, which deeply annoys the confident crime boss. Before the thug can explain, the brave fighter kicks another guard straight through the doorway onto the floor. Furious at the sudden intrusion, the enraged leader pulls out a handgun to threaten the dangerous newcomer. Throwing a dark emblem into the air, the hero leaves the boss trembling in fear after recognizing the symbol. Kneeling on the ground, the terrified thug realizes the young man belongs to a famous underworld organization. Recognizing the legendary symbol of the Ten Lords Society, the terrified gang leader drops to his knees and bows. Lighting his cigarette, the young master confronts him about stolen goods, while the boss desperately begs for mercy. Desperate to survive, the foolish criminal suddenly pulls out a gun and threatens the hero for coming alone. Unbothered by the threat, the fearless young man effortlessly flicks his burning cigarette straight into the weapon. Throwing his dark metal card with insane force, the skilled fighter takes down the crime boss in 1 second. Seeing their powerful leader defeated on the floor, the surrounding gang members freeze in complete horror. The surrounding thugs scream in complete terror after discovering that their boss was killed in seconds. Grabbing the second in command, the cool young hero offers him a simple choice to hand over the goods or die. Terrified for his life, the man bows in respect and agrees to guide him straight to the hidden stash. Meanwhile, the injured rival arrives outside the building, swearing to pay whatever it takes to eliminate the hero. While the new leader takes charge of the group, the angry rival barges into the office looking for the old boss. Sitting at the desk, the tattooed leader casually reveals that he controls the organization now. Offering 50 million yuan, the foolish rival asks the gang to eliminate a simple delivery worker for him. The gang leader gets shocked by the massive offer, while the furious rival demands to eliminate the deliverer. Thrilled by the huge deal, the boss agrees to take his men along so the bitter rival can watch in person. Meanwhile, the hero returns to work where his friends warn that the boss wants to see him after his deliveries. Suddenly, a dark van cuts off his bike as the injured rival steps out wielding a heavy metal pipe. Unbothered by the ambush, the young man stays relaxed while the furious attacker screams wild threats. As the loud bully swings his weapon, the cool deliverer easily avoids it and flicks his burning cigarette in his face. Delivering a ruthless knee strike to the chest, the fearless fighter crushes his opponent in a single move. Forcing the foolish rival straight to his knees, the deliverer lights a cigarette while the bully begs the gang to attack. As dark van doors slide open, armed thugs step out to mock the young deliverer for standing his ground. From the floor, the bitter rival yells at the gang members to torture the young hero slowly. When the gang leader casually touches his shoulder, the skilled fighter turns around and slams him down instantly. Recognizing the hero as a legendary young master, the terrified boss immediately shakes in fear and begs for mercy. Confused by the sudden fear, the rival tries to speak until the gang boss kicks him straight into the air. Stomping on the crying bully, the young master gives a final warning before the broken rival surrenders completely. Pressing his foot on the defeated bully, the hero warns him to stay away from his wife. Checking his phone, the deliverer complains about running out of time before leaving the scene. When the angry rival complains, the gang leader warns that the protagonist is someone nobody can afford to offend. Arriving at a shabby apartment building, the hardworking young man heads down a dark hallway to deliver an order. Knocking on the door, he asks for 20 yuan while a shady customer nervously steps out with cash. Suddenly, a terrified woman screams for help inside as another man strikes her right in front of the doorway. Shoving money into his hands, the guy slams the door shut while the criminals inside plot to eliminate him. Holding his forehead, the deliverer sighs at how easily he stumbles right into huge trouble. Kicking the door wide open, the deliverer sends the criminal flying while complaining about the extra hassle. Seeing his ally fall, the second thug pulls out a large blade and leaps forward to strike him down. Grabbing the weapon with ease, the brave fighter delivers a brutal strike that crushes the attacker completely. Heading deeper inside the apartment, the young man kicks open the bedroom door to check on the victim. Finding a helpless girl tied on the bed, the kind boy quickly frees her while asking if she can stand up. Gently placing his jacket over her shoulders, the caring protagonist makes sure she stays warm and covered. After contacting the police, the hero grabs heavy rope to tie up both criminals outside so they cannot escape. After tying up the criminals, the hero meets Xiao Wanying, who warmly thanks him for saving her life. Taking a phone call, his scary older sister orders him to bring his new wife to meet her tonight before hanging up. Suddenly, police officers enter the room with her father, who rushes over to hug his daughter in relief. As officers take the thugs away, the grateful girl points out that the young driver single-handedly saved her. Impressed by his power, the father realizes the deliverer is actually a high-level martial arts master. Introducing himself as Xia Tiansheng, the wealthy father hands over his business card and promises full support. After thanking the old master for the card, he politely turns down a high-paying job offer to train at his gym. Heading outside while police arrest the thugs, the young man hops on his motorcycle to hurry back to his wife. Meanwhile, at the company building, a persistent suitor offers help to Suchi, but she firmly rejects him. Bragging about his popularity abroad, the persistent guy grabs her arm and demands her to be his woman. Pushing him away in disgust, the heiress drops a bomb by revealing that she is already married and pregnant. Just then, the young hero enters the room while teasingly noting that he has quite a few rivals in love. Mistaking him for an employee, the angry suitor yells at him while the surprised girl smiles brightly. Grabbing his arm, the heiress introduces the hero as her husband, leaving him feeling proud inside. Shocked by the sudden reveal, the angry suitor freaks out until the protagonist calmly kicks him out of the room. Unpacking the delicious lunch, the young man jokes about his rival fleeing while she claims they lack real romance. As she begins eating, the playful hero suddenly closes the food box and pulls it away from her desk. Annoyed by his teasing, the heiress shouts that he must feed her since she carries his child. Enjoying the homemade meal, the rich girl smiles while complimenting his incredible cooking skills. Offering to invest in a restaurant for him, the deliverer smugly claims only she is qualified to taste his dishes. While eating her food, the rich heiress wonders if he cooked for other women before, but he denies it with a smirk. When she notices his missing work clothes, the boy casually admits that he lent his jacket to a girl he saved. Jealous of his answer, the angry heiress kicks him straight out of her office while he warns her to keep calm. Sitting alone at her desk, the girl checks her phone to find a sweet message from him promising to earn money. Smiling at his message, she invites him over for family dinner tonight as the official father of her child. Reading her reply outside, the happy deliverer calls her a stubborn woman before agreeing to accompany her. Hopping back onto his motorcycle, the hard-working young man speeds off down the street to finish his shift. Later that evening, the cool protagonist arrives outside her massive family villa, ready to face her relatives. Walking into the villa together, the rich heiress boldly introduces the young deliverer as her official husband. Her brother surprisingly defends her choice and invites the hero inside while telling the girl to change clothes. Secretly plotting behind her back, the scheming brother reveals that he invited their wealthy rival over for dinner. Arriving at the dining room, the arrogant rival gets welcomed by the family with a grand feast. Coming back downstairs with the heiress, the hero leaves the rich suitor completely stunned to see him. While her mother invites the suitor to sit, the sharp girl gets annoyed after noticing only one extra chair at the table. The snobbish family complains that a poor deliverer has no right to sit at their official dining table. Seeing the lack of chairs, the rich heiress offers her own seat to her husband, while her father slams the table in anger. Releasing a terrifying aura, the young master glares at the arrogant suitor until the coward panics and offers his own chair. Surprising the entire family, the terrified suitor insists that the deliverer deserves the seat much more than him. Sitting down comfortably, the hero gently takes care of his pregnant wife while her relatives watch in total disbelief. While the couple enjoys a quiet toast together, the scheming brother pulls the rich suitor aside to reveal a secret plan. Whispering in private, the evil brother admits that he spiked the heiress with a powerful sleeping potion. Terrified of the hero, the suitor grabs the brother by his collar and screams at him for making such a reckless move. Panicking from fear, the suitor screams at the dining table that the drink was drugged by the scheming brother. Furious at the betrayal, the heiress splashes her glass of wine straight into her sibling's face. When the enraged guy raises his fist to strike her, the protagonist steps in and punches him to the floor. Standing tall over the defeated attacker, the brave young man warns him never to touch his wife again before leaving. While her worried parents tend to their injured son, the couple speeds away inside her luxury sports car. Driving down the quiet road, the curious girl asks why their wealthy rival seemed so terrified of him. Smiling softly, the rich heiress notes how hard it will be for him to adjust to her complicated family. With a confident smirk, the hero casually claims that his own household actually enforces much stricter rules. Checking his phone inside the car, the young man panics when a text from his sister reveals she has arrived. Heading inside the apartment building, the protagonist warns his wife to stay polite around his strict relative. Entering the suite, the nervous hero greets his intimidating eldest sister Rao Rushuang as she relaxes on the sofa. Instantly ordering her brother to kneel down, the stern woman watches him drop straight to the floor without hesitation. As the sister commands the wife to bow too, the protective husband speaks up to mention her current pregnancy. Taking hold of the girl's wrist, the sharp woman carefully checks her pulse to verify the condition herself. Suddenly, the fierce sister kicks him to the floor, wanting to teach him a lesson before listening to any excuses. Stepping in front of him, the protective heiress calls out the sister for being unreasonable and hitting him. The sister lists their family rules while claiming the boy broke them by getting married without approval. Offended by her words, the heiress learns that 4 top-tier women were previously arranged for the young master. When the hero tries to protect his wife from stress, the girl angrily accuses them of putting on a fake show. She believes he made up all these crazy rich backgrounds just to mask his delivery job status. Refusing to listen to his explanation, the upset girl walks away, declaring she will contact him after giving birth. At her friend's luxury villa, the upset heiress stays over while her friend wonders if the deliverer is actually legit. While the rich girl refuses to believe it, her friend suggests that delivery drivers could actually be hidden big shots. Suspicious of her friend defending him, the heiress playfully tackles her on the bed to demand the truth. Switching topics, her friend asks about meeting the secret auction winner before a sudden knock interrupts them. Opening the door, a wealthy guy enters and claims he can easily introduce them to the mysterious tycoon. When asked if he really knows the $1 billion investor, the arrogant guy proudly offers to bring her along. The next morning, the stressed hero smokes on his balcony, complaining that his stubborn wife refuses to take his calls. Checking his phone, the hero gets a text from the saved girl offering his clothes back, but he tells her to toss them. Taking an urgent call, the protagonist gets shocked to hear that his ally drowned after saving people from the water. Meanwhile, the rescued girl sits alone in her room wondering if she will ever see the brave hero again. Her father walks in and asks her to attend a special birthday party for a wealthy young master. She refuses since the rich guy ignored his drowned savior, but her dad asks her to go as a favor. When the father asks about the driver, the daughter reveals that he declined to stay in touch. Elsewhere, an arrogant rich guy aggressively stomps on a man while yelling threats. When the arrogant rich guy tries to attack, a fast kick hits his face and sends him flying. Standing tall with his allies, the brave hero asks the bully who he thinks he can defeat. Recognizing her savior, a girl in the crowd gets thrilled after realizing Wang Han arrived. Screaming in pure rage, the hurt rich guy orders his bodyguards to attack the group. Moving together, the skilled allies easily overpower the incoming guards with heavy kicks. One guard gets smashed onto the floor, while another takes a brutal punch straight to his face. Standing over all the knocked out guards, the brave hero leaves the bully asking who they are. Smoking a cigarette, the ally explains that his late brother died saving the bully who continues to insult his memory. Relying on his status, the spoiled rich boy boasts about his wealth while calling his bodyguards into the room. The ally calmly demands that the arrogant guy bow at his brother's grave and apologize to the media. Refusing the offer, the loud bully orders an attack, so the vengeful ally lifts a heavy sofa and slams it onto him. Crashing hard onto the floor, the painful bully groans as the standing man warns that his last chance is completely gone. Without showing any mercy, the enraged ally delivers a brutal kick straight to the bully's face. Suddenly, an influential leader named Zhou Xingwei arrives, while the bruised bully desperately begs his father to save him. The wealthy leader orders his top fighter to kill them, while the girl begs her bodyguard to step in. Leaping into the air with a glowing strike, the master gets shocked when his hand is caught effortlessly. Stepping forward to fight, the heavy monk ally uses a secret technique to slam the master down. Lying defeated on the floor, the injured master warns his boss that their opponent uses an ancient palm style. Realizing the opponent comes from a powerful family, the leader quickly changes his tone to negotiate. Learning that the victim was a simple mechanic, the arrogant leader offers 1 million yuan to settle the incident. Furious at the insult, the vengeful ally kicks the air and grabs the leader to yell that a life cannot be bought. The wealthy leader laughs at the idea while boasting about his vast fortune, but the hero orders a quick phone call. After the smart ally orders a total financial shutdown, the arrogant elder laughs, thinking it is all just a movie stunt. A panicked worker rushes inside to report that a powerful family empire froze all of their business operations. Revealing his secret high status, the sharp ally leaves the elder trembling in fear and demanding his son apologize. Pressing his foot on the bully, the hero listens as the father desperately warns about his brother in the military. Unbothered by the military connection, the young master orders another phone call to neutralize the high-ranking uncle. Taking the terrified bully away, the brave squad warns the helpless father to call whoever he wants for backup. Calling his relative in the military, the wealthy leader gets shocked when his brother gets ruined by the young master. Heading straight to the cemetery, the squad stands before their fallen brother's grave while forcing the bully to bow. Stomping his foot down hard, the angry ally slams the bully's face into the cold stone to demand an apology. With justice finally served, the squad bows respectfully before the grave to honor their late friend. Meanwhile, nearby, the young heiress visits her grandmother's grave to reveal her secret pregnancy and marriage. Upset by recent events, she complains that her new husband probably hired actors to fake a rich background. Placing favorite snacks on the tombstone, the girl talks about the mysterious benefactor who saved her business. As heavy rain starts falling over the cemetery, the young heiress quickly walks back toward her car. Inside the vehicle, her brother complains about the weather until a luxury limousine suddenly cuts them off. Outside, men with umbrellas bow respectfully to the squad while discussing arrangements for their friend. Looking through the window, the friend suddenly spots the protagonist and points him out to the surprised girl. Seeing someone open the car door for him, the confused heiress wonders who the important stranger could be. Her brother gets completely shocked after recognizing the man as the heir of a powerful, wealthy family. As the luxury fleet speeds away, the friend urges the heiress to call her husband and demand an explanation. Dismissing her claims about seeing the young man, the family drives away while planning to meet a mysterious investor. Meanwhile, the squad arrives at an old apartment building to visit their fallen brother's former home. Approaching an elderly resident, they ask for directions to Chen Qiang's apartment on the 3rd floor. The old man reveals that greedy relatives stole the fallen hero's property right after his passing. Heading upstairs, the group gets furious upon spotting a young girl sitting alone in the dark hallway. When the little girl mentions her father went far away, the squad realizes in total shock that she is his daughter. When the young girl reveals how her evil relatives kicked her out, the furious squad decides to step in. Kicking the door wide open, the team catches the greedy relatives enjoying an expensive seafood feast inside. As the evil couple screams in anger, the squad confronts them for stealing the orphan's home and property. Without showing any mercy, the angry ally kicks the cruel uncle straight into the dining table. Stepping forward to deliver real justice, the heavy monk mercilessly pummels the abusive man on the floor. While the couple begs for mercy, the young master gently asks the little girl to tell him her name. Introducing herself as Guo Guo, the team realizes the poor child can no longer stay with these cruel relatives. Wang Han asks his ally to adopt the orphan, but the panicking friend insists that the little girl clearly chose her favorite uncle. The friend tells the young child to call him godfather, leaving the newly married protagonist shocked by his sudden new role. The next morning, the caring hero cooks a delicious breakfast for his new goddaughter before taking her to school. Texting his stubborn wife a picture of food, he gets rejected instantly as she orders him to stop contacting her. After getting dressed, the hero walks the child through the hallways of an elite private school arranged by his ally. Entering the main office, the polite principal greets the young master before introducing her new classroom teacher. To his total surprise, the new classroom teacher turns out to be the exact girl he saved recently. Recognized by the young woman, the protagonist gently introduces the little orphan as his daughter. Since they know each other, the principal lets her guide the child to class while he leaves for work. Waving goodbye, the little girl calls him godfather while he promises to pick her up after school. Surprised by the word, the teacher asks the child and learns that her biological father passed away. Heading outside on his motorcycle, the young man suddenly receives a phone call from an aggressive woman. Wondering how the princess found his number, the protagonist warns her that he is already married. The following morning, the caring hero drops the little girl off at school before waving goodbye. Before heading to his next delivery, the young hero texts his wife to warn her about suspicious strangers. Arriving at a massive luxury mansion, the young deliverer politely knocks on the front door. Opening the door, the pregnant heiress gets completely shocked to see her husband standing right outside. Stepping inside, the young heiress quickly lies to her friends that the deliverer was an old classmate. Confused by the claim, her friend questions him until the young hero makes up a fake identity. A man in the room quickly calls out his fake story by stating that no such student ever existed. Pointing out the massive gap in status, the arrogant man scolds the heiress for hanging out with a deliverer. Trying to humiliate him, the rich guy pulls out 200 yuan and smugly hands it over as a tip. Swallowing his temper for now, the clever hero simply takes the cash and politely thanks him. Suddenly, the girl from the apartment walks out and gets thrilled after recognizing her savior at the door. When asked about their connection, the wealthy girl proudly reveals that the young driver rescued her. As she invites him inside to rest, the deliverer politely declines while the snobbish guy makes another rude remark. Walking back to his motorcycle, the young man gets surprised when the grateful girl runs out to ask for a ride. The rich guy offers her a ride in his luxury car, but she chooses the hero while the annoyed heiress looks away. Hopping onto his motorcycle, the girl holds onto his waist tightly as they speed away together. Meanwhile, the persistent suitor tries to invite the heiress out to eat, but she coldly turns him down. Cruising down the highway, the young man asks about his speed while the grateful girl rests against his back. Suddenly, the jealous heiress speeds up beside them in her sports car and orders her friend to swap vehicles. Knowing better than to anger his pregnant wife, the hero agrees before the friend offers to buy him dinner. Explaining that his busy delivery work fills up his weekends, the young driver promises to reschedule with her later. As the grateful girl waves goodbye to him, the exhausted deliverer sighs that women are just way too much to handle.